What's up, guys? So before I get into a recap of this week's training, I want to talk to you a little bit about the direction I see the channel going and how I'd like things to go going forward. Um, what I want to do is recap each week of training and kind of make it a gym talk type series. So keep the channel from a lifter for the lifters. Keep everything specific to training, whether that be powerlifting, sport specific training, just lifting weights in general, periodization, coaching, all these different types of things that kind of fall under that giant umbrella of training. And and each week I want to take one of the comments from the previous video and kind of ramble on it. Take the week of training coming up and voice over that week of training on the topic that one of the subscribers provided for the next week of training. So try and keep things interactive. Just kind of let me ramble off on different topics of training, and try and get an educated discussion going, I guess. I'm by no means some big authority on powerlifting or on training or anything like that, but I find myself going to the gym and you're squatting with your buddies and someone says, "Oh, hey, did you see this? So and so, squatted this or benched this," and then you start complaining or griping about, oh, their programming so stupid or their technique's terrible or all these different sorts of things. And honestly, I don't know that there is one right or wrong answer to all these questions, but every single day going to the gym and every single day we get on the same topics, and I think it'd be fun to just kind of expand that experience to all my subscribers and keep things interesting. So if you have a topic that you'd like to have talked about in the next question, drop it in the comments. I'll pick one each week, and the length of all my training clips, I'll ramble off and give you my honest opinion on it. We'll keep things specific to lifting, anything lifting related, but we'll keep it specific to lifting, and see how that goes. I think for the most part, it gets kind of boring for me to voice over my training and say, "Oh, hey, my could have been a little bit tighter on this one, and kind of misgrooved that rep here, and hit this one at RP air." You can kind of tell that from the video, and if you have a question specific to one of the videos, then let me know and I'll talk about it in the next video. But we'll see how that goes, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Alright, guys, so this week we're going to start off with a fairly controversial topic, and we're going to talk about social media and its impact on the sport of powerlifting. So up here I have the nominations so far for IPF Worlds, and as you can see, it's pretty stupid competitive, actually. I'm currently sitting 9th place and 4th place in the bench press, which is kind of what I think most people would say is my best lift. So it's interesting to see how competitive this sport has gotten, and how awesome that is. I love it. I'd much rather go to a meet and work my butt off and get 9th place, knowing that I fought super hard to battle off the guy right behind me in 10th. But what people fail to realize sometimes when they follow lifters on social media, whether it be Instagram or YouTube or whatever, is they have no context. So they see a lifter that is considered strong, I guess, compared to the average population. So, taking myself for example, I guess I'd be considered strong. There's not too many 160-pound guys benching 400 pounds walking around on the street. Well, I screwed up. I deleted half the videos from this week in an effort to make room for the compilation video here. So, I stole as much as I could off of Instagram for your viewing pleasure. I'll try not to be an idiot next week. Thank you. People see that on YouTube, they see it on Instagram, and they think that it's amazing, it's so phenomenal. It's this person's a freak sort of thing, and then you go to Worlds in a 400-pound bench, you're lucky to get 4th place, and I think people need to realize that. They need to realize that there's a difference between competitive powerlifting at the highest level and just what there is for average people, and what people portray on Instagram, what people portray on YouTube isn't always the case. Just because somebody is on YouTube doesn't mean they're strong. And in fact, most people that are big names on YouTube honestly aren't very strong, and that's nothing against them. it's the fact that there's just that many strong people walking around that aren't on YouTube or aren't on Instagram. I mean, how many of you guys are subscribed to, first through fifth place on that IPF Worlds list? I assume probably none of you, and that's the way it is. Those people are phenomenal athletes. Obviously, they're competing at the highest level in the sport, but they're not a quote unquote icon in social media, and I guess this kind of relates back to my topic last week, and that was part of the reason that I stepped away. I just had too many other goals in life. I wanted to be a good athlete. I wanted to be a good powerlifter, and I do want to be the best that I can be. Would I like to be the best? Would I like to win worlds sometime? Absolutely. I pride myself on working very hard. I pride myself on being relatively knowledgeable when it comes to the sport and programming and coaching and attempt selection and periodization and all these sorts of things. But the reality is there's always going to be someone better than you, and I'm not going to go on video here and say how I worked that much harder than all these other people to get where I am, because in reality I worked as hard as I could to get to where I am for myself. But relative to those other people, I mean, there's people out there that train 3 times a week and they absolutely mop the floor with me when it comes to a competition. So it's something that everyone, I guess, has to learn to take with a grain of salt when they're watching videos, and when people say how hard they work or how much effort they're putting in, or kind of put on this facade about what the sport really is, when in reality they might have won a competition because no one else happened to show up. There's someone that's on the reserve list that's ranked ahead of me on the nominations right now. So right now that guy is not going to be competing on the day. So automatically I'm going to get 8th over 9th. So I got 1 place higher than my nomination. But in reality, I was always going to get 8th place because that guy was never showing up. So there's always that chance that these people don't come. I mean, it's going to be an expensive trip from Kazakhstan to Texas or whatever. And hypothetically, the Kazakh lifters could not show up, and automatically I get 7th over 9th or 5th over 6th or 10th over 12th or whatever. And I could come on here and say how awesome my performance was because I overachieved, because I worked harder than everybody and trained smarter than everybody and did everything that everyone else wouldn't do. But in reality, the people that were going to beat me just didn't show up. So it's something that people need to kind of understand and realize that it is a sport, and it's about competing on that one particular day. And what people see on social media and see on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, is just kind of a snapshot of what is really going on. I mean, powerlifting isn't some big glorious sport where people are always in the spotlight. It's people lifting up weights with a metal rod. So I guess there's my rant for today. If you have a question you want answered next week or rambled on for 5 minutes or so, then drop it in the comments. I'll pick one and do my best to give you some informative information on it. Hope you guys enjoyed this style of video. If it's something you want to see continue, drop it in the comments. See you next time.